guys, welcome back to my channel. It's officially October 1st. Horror, scary stuff, horror movies. You know what that means. More murder to talk about on the channel. This channel doesn't change. We talk about crime. Now, at first I was like talking about, I started, if you didn't know, I started this channel. I was talking about like a lot of random stuff, lifestyle stuff. When I was in college, I was talking about like gossip with the tea spill stuff, which I really don't react to like tea spill no more. I would on like occasion, but I haven't reacted to anything in a while just because I kind of don't care about a lot of influencers drama now. It's just that, when you talk about crime so much, it's just that, it's a lot of more important stuff. And I just noticed my mic is not even in front of me. It's right here, so I'll have to move it over here when I start the video. But I talk about crime, and I like talking about crime because it gives awareness. Today, we're talking about something grotesque because you never want to think about this with like a father. We're talking about a father who murdered his daughter. Not just any father, an obsessive father. Now, these dudes, these dads in that category, it's not that many of them. It's gross. It's like, what makes somebody, have a fetish with their daughter? I'm talking about, it's nasty, y'all. Like she found her underwear in his room. Like, it's nasty. And she was a sheriff in the town where they at. And it's weird. Dudes who's like obsessed with family members and like your daughter, no. You don't do that. Like, I don't even know what to say. You don't do that. Like, that's disgusting. So, yeah, we're just going to react to it because we're going to be reacting to it on YouTube. It's been a while since I did a YouTube reaction, with them talking. But I was like, they'll have all the info because I seen it on their website, but I was like, I need to hear it because there's more. It's like 20 minutes, so they have more information for me. And, yeah, I know I paused and stopped, so we're going to get into it. Let's get into it.
Allegedly fled the country after police accused him of stalking and murdering his own daughter, is now facing charges in a Utah court despite his MIA status. We are taking a closer look at this bizarre case with one of the investigators who's directly involved. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. 25-year-old Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office Deputy Marbella Martinez started her job as a corrections officer less than 6 months ago. Such a promising, bright future ahead in law enforcement. But that future, those aspirations, they were cut short at the end of July when she was killed in her home. And investigators say her own father, 54-year-old Hector Ramon Martinez Ayala, is the one who strangled her to death. On August 1st, Tooele police responded to a welfare check at the home that Marbella, who went by Bella, shared with her father until very recently. They found Bella dead on her bed at around 8 a.m., launched an investigation saying that at the time that she died under suspicious circumstances, her father was immediately identified as a person of interest. And we now have charging documents that lay out what police have discovered since August 1st, but here's the problem. This suspected killer, this father, may not even be in the country anymore. So Martinez Ayala's cell phone shows that he left home, took off for the Salt Lake City airport. Investigators believe he threw out Bella's phone that he had taken as he drove along I-80. And from Salt Lake, he flew to San Francisco and then Houston. That's what investigators believe at this point. This charging document, this indictment that we're going to get into, states, quote, there are no cell records after the defendant left Houston, but the defendant used his twin brother's identification when he landed in another country and is seen on surveillance video. The defendant's whereabouts are unknown, but his last known location was outside of the United States. He goes on to say, in the days leading up to the defendant's murder of the victim, he stole the victim's credit card and made 2 separate cash withdrawals of $500 each. There's currently a warrant out for Martinez Ayala's arrest, and when he is captured, he will be held without bail. Such a sad story, by the way, but again, it's our privilege to be able to bring this to you and talk about this.
That's so weird. You have a dad who strangled his daughter. Yo, and I'm sorry if that PC is too loud because I hear it. I swear, sorry, y'all. But we have a man who, strangled his daughter. And then what's weird, it's like you could tell something was going on because then he, he used her credit cards. So this is something you do. Now, I'm just saying you don't do this, okay? But you see this in crimes where you'll see they'll like kill somebody and spend the victim's money because they don't care about that person. They have no relation to that person. But this man, this was his daughter. Now, I'm actually really curious. I'm 100% sure they're going to get into it, what kind of relationship they had or what kind of relationship he had. Because it's like, I don't know, that's weird. And so he's missing. This man literally left the U.S. Like, guilty all over. They know he did it. It's like, ew. It's just weird to me that he, like, spent, I know all this is weird, but it's weird that he spent, like, just stole her money. I don't know if it's to buy, like, a plane ticket out of here, but, like, he strangled his daughter, stole her money, left the country, used his twin brother's identity. He looked like he'll do, like, some weird stuff, too. Like, you could tell I don't know if it's something with his looks that's throwing me off, but it's something there.
So to talk about this case, I have a special guest. I want to bring in Corporal Colby Bentley with the Tooele Police Department. They've been investigating this. Corporal, thank you so much for coming on. You guys have been working really hard on this case for more than a month now. And while there's charges that have been filed in court, this alleged bad guy is still on the run. What is the latest on trying to apprehend him?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. That's the frustrating part of police work sometimes is there's not always that immediate gratification of being able to catch someone in the act right away. We had originally named Hector Martinez Ayala as a person of interest in the case. Our detectives, like I said, have been working around the clock to try and tie up any loose ends on this case. As it started out, it's fair to say he was likely a suspect. We were waiting for some lab work to come back from the state medical examiner's office, and once that came back, we were able to confirm that, yes, this man did indeed kill his daughter.
And the efforts to locate him and the efforts to, apprehend him and bring him back, do you have an idea, and I know it's a sensitive investigation, but do you have an idea about where he is and what he might be up to at this point?
Definitely. We've got some solid leads that we're working with right now. It's difficult when you have an investigation that doesn't just span across a different state, but a country or multiple countries, and that's potentially where we're at right now. But we have several solid leads we're working on right now, and we're working with several different federal and international agencies.
So I want to get into this a little bit more, and one of the things I want to do is to look at this indictment. So it names the man you just mentioned, Hector Ramon Martinez Ayala, as a defendant, and it lists several of his aliases, and that list includes, by the way, Jesus Alberto Martinez Ayala, his twin brother. I had mentioned that he might have used his identification, right, when he transported state lines or across international lines. What can you tell us about his brother? We're going to get into a little bit of the messages that they might have had back and forth, but are you in contact with his brother? Does his brother seem to know where his brother is?
So his brother was one that originally reported the incident to us the morning of August 1st. It was about 8:30 in the morning that we went over there.
Oh, that's creepy. They're legit identical twins. Like, they look exactly alike. Whoa. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I know they're twins. He said they're twins. What are they going to look like? They look exactly alike. Now, that's so scary, y'all, to have a twin, especially when your twin commit a crime, because now they're going to be looking at you, and people going to be looking at you when they see stuff on TV. Oh, my God. If I had a twin, I would be so mad, because if that person ever did something and somebody think that I'm them, my life is over. It's not going to be the same unless they know you're a twin. But it's so hard, but they look exactly alike. Dang.
Yes, we have been in contact with him quite a bit. He's been able to give us some information that we're working on right now.
And they're twins. By that I mean they look identical?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so he is currently charged, the suspect in this case, with 8 counts. Murder, 2 counts of obstructing justice, stalking, 2 counts of unlawful use of a bank card, 1 count of unlawful possession of another's identification. And the statement of probable cause says that when Tooele police found Bella, she was, quote, found lying on top of the bed, covered with a blanket up to her neck. Blood was observed in her mouth. There was visible apparent fingernail claw marks on her face and neck. Corporal, my understanding is you were at that scene. What can you tell us more about this?
You know, anytime you're investigating a death where it's, whether it's due to natural causes or whether there's potentially something suspicious, it's always difficult. It always takes an effect on you. But this one was especially egregious. You have a 25-year-old girl, very young still, kind of getting in her stride in life, and now you're trying to figure out what's happened to her. And it's obvious in the beginning that there were signs of foul play. We can't always announce that right away, but it was obvious to us that she didn't die of natural causes. And leading up to that, in the very early stages of the investigation, it became apparent to us that it was likely her father that did it. And then learning that her father, being able to confirm that for sure her father did it, it's disturbing.
Can you tell us, if you can, more of the details regarding how she was strangled, in what way? Do we know that yet? Because right now, all that we seem to know is that he allegedly strangled her. Is there anything more you can share with us about that?
Not too much right now, but like I said, we were able to confirm through the state medical examiner's office that she was strangled. So whether that was by, hands or rope or anything like that, it could involve any of those.
Going back to this relationship, this document reveals, quote, "The investigation revealed that the defendant's behavior toward the victim was becoming increasingly troublesome. Text records show that the defendant was becoming increasingly obsessed and controlling with the victim. The text message records show text messages from the defendant to the victim are more of the nature of a jealous lover than a father." And it says in February of 2024, the victim found a bag of her underwear with her used feminine hygiene products in the defendant's room. This is her father. The defendant promised to change and stop the behavior. The victim began dating a romantic interest, and in mid-July of 2024, while the victim was out of the country, the defendant purchased a tracking device and hidden spy cameras. The defendant placed the tracking device on the victim's vehicle. I mean, Corporal, these are...
Okay. And also, I apologize if y'all hear that too. It's like, it's the air, it's hot in here, the air is on. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. We have stalking. Ew. Just like thinking about your dad stalking you because he's obsessed and like in love with you is so disgusting. It's so just gross. Ew. You got him jealous because she's dating somebody. You got him watching her, putting stuff on her cars, tracking her underwear in his room, her used feminine products. I don't even know what I would do. I don't want to ever think of this again after this video, but knowing the stuff I talk about in this crime, I might end up thinking about it with, like, if I see something again. I don't want to imagine, like, going into, like, my dad's room and like seeing stuff like that's mine in there. Ew, y'all, I literally was run out the house and never come back. Like, oh my God. And then just because he said he would never do it again, like, you did it one time is enough, deuces. You will never see me again. That's not normal. It's given the hub, okay? It's given too real. It's too real. The hub is fake. This is too real. And if you know what I'm talking about with the hub, you know, just leave it alone. But it's like, you know what I'm talking about. It's creepy. That's creepy. No, you don't do that. That's disgusting. It's like this, I don't know why. It's something about his face. I guess his brother's face too, because they look alike. But it's like, he looked like the type of dude, the type of dad that want to like stay young and like, I don't know. Where's the mom? How did this happen? How did he become obsessed with his daughter? Now let's talk about the death. This is really sad. Even though I talk about police all the time, I'm like, dang, they so useless. They do their job, okay? Give them the props. They do their job. I just can't even imagine anybody in law enforcement who can look at a body and then get on camera the next day. I can't. just seeing a dead body is so insane to me, but like, that's the job. It's like, it's so sad. He strangled her and then put a blanket over her. I hope he didn't do anything to her, but now you got him killed, most likely killing her because she was wanting to leave, or she was going to turn him in and report him. I got a feeling that's where we're going with this, because she's noticing all these signs. He's stealing her underwear, he's stealing her products, he's stalking her, the GPS, he's looking at her in the house like, y'all, you're living with this person and you're noticing the signs. I really wish, because she was a sheriff, I really wish she would have turned him in and got out earlier, because just because somebody say they won't do it again don't mean they won't do it again. It's like, ew, it's just gross. Like, I would have been reported him, but then you like, what would they give him? Stalking. This man was stalking his daughter. So I'm like, you could put that on there, but dang, really, what else is it? It's just nasty. Ugh.
Really disturbing accusations here.
Very disturbing.
Do we have an idea of what was happening here with this father and daughter?
Yeah, we're still trying to put two and two together right now. I mean, I think it's fair to say a lot of people can try to make their own deductions based off of the information that we have. We have a father who is vastly outside of a father role. As a parent myself, as a parent to a daughter, I would do anything for my daughter. I would gladly have my life taken for her life. But then we have this situation where a father not only has taken a romantic interest in his own daughter, but has developed some sort of a domestic violence relationship with her that is unknowingly controlling to her at the time, and it escalates very quickly within a few months.
Can you share with us how this information was obtained? Was it through people who talked about the situation? Did Marbella speak with anybody about what was going on with her father? Did she ever file a police report against her father? Anything in terms of how we know this dynamic of what he's accused of doing?
That's what makes it even more difficult to process. Is we had no contact with either of them ever. Right. They weren't on our radar. It's not a family that we're typically dealing with on a weekly basis or anything like that. We had nothing of record dealing with them at all. So that was a strange one for sure. It was kind of an out of the blue situation that happened.
Sure, but in terms of how we know that he was allegedly doing these things, how do we know that?
A lot of good detective work. A lot of different sources. We have, obviously we're going to be interviewing neighbors, family members, friends, different people who knew both of them. So there's different sources like that. In 2024, data is everywhere. Data is in everything that we do, and that's an integral part of police work. So data from multiple different sources has helped us piece together what's been a difficult case.
Did Martinez Ayala end up using those tracking devices that he allegedly put on Bella's car? Do we know that for sure?
I don't know if we know that for sure yet, but I feel like it would be fair to make an assumption based off of when he came back to the house just an hour or two after he saw that Marbella had been to the house. So I think it would be fair to say that he likely did.
Based on the reporting that Bella didn't want to return to her Tooele home, so she stayed in a hotel between July 29th and July 31st, and the indictment states on July 31st, 2024, surveillance video in the defendant and victim's residence shows the victim returning to the residence at around 11 a.m. The last video of the victim is from an indoor camera at the shared residence at 12:23 p.m. It shows the victim walking upstairs in the residence. At 2:17 p.m., the residence driveway camera shows the defendant arrive in his truck. The victim's phone was set to receive notifications whenever the residence cameras pick up movement on the premises. The last camera notification on the victim's phone occurred at 2:07 p.m., which means that the cameras were disabled or disconnected from the internet at this time. Corporal, what can you tell us about that?
That's another piece of the puzzle that obviously
And if that's true, that's also really that's a true evidence right there. Well, real evidence. There you go. It's like he arrives at the same time that the camera's disabled. It's also very eerie, just knowing that that's the time like she most likely died. She got there and then he got there. She had to leave the she's not comfortable being in the home. I really wish she would have just stayed gone. Just forget everything. You don't need anything in the house. Just go, girl. You're a sheriff. You can go. You got people you can stay with, or friends you can stay with. I would not go. But then if he did use the tracking device, it's just oh my god, like I just really wish she didn't go back to the home. You got this creepy dude like stalking you, finding you, and most likely he returned because he knew she returned home. It's so, I don't even know what to say about this, y'all. Like this one is very, and the bang is getting on my nerves, y'all. I'm sorry. It's very scary because this is her dad. You're supposed to be safe with family, and when you can't, that's when it's time to go.
You don't have to be a cop to know that that's suspicious, especially after what we discovered.
This
there being a
picture
death
right here
inside.
is like very telling.
Again, I think it plays more into. It seems like he was definitely tracking her using that tracking device, and it makes it even more sad because was she just going home to collect some items and get back out for her own safety? What was going on there? Did she truly know the amount of danger that she was in? It's hard because this could have played out so much differently in so many different scenarios, but it just happened that she had a very obsessive father.
Corporal, one thing I didn't ask you, and it's difficult when you have cases of domestic violence or violence that happens in a home where two people share it, because DNA can be all over the house and it's not suspicious. Is there any physical evidence from this father on Marbella that would say he was the one who did this? Was there anything that would indicate that?
Yeah, so originally when we named Hector as a person of interest, again, you don't have to be a cop or a detective to look at all the circumstances that we saw and go, okay, that's suspicious. There's something wrong there. The reason why we hadn't originally named him as an offender and immediately charged him is we're waiting for different DNA and lab results back from the state labs here in Utah. And after we were able to get those results back, it was conclusive that yes, this was her father.
Yeah, this is crazy. That's the perfect word for this one. All the evidence is lining up, especially with the text message. Also with the footage, the video camera. They have video footage in their home that he had. So you got her arriving at like 11 or something. He most likely tracked her. He's arriving a couple hours after the exact time he get home, the camera shut off. And then like probably an hour later or like 45 minutes later, whatever, he texts his brother that he's sorry, he loved him, that he gotta leave and he won't come back because he can't believe what he's done. It's crazy. I'm telling you, you have a dad that is obsessed with his daughter. How did they get to that point? Was he depressed about like the mother leaving and she looked like the mother? Because I'm only saying that because y'all, it's a bird out here that's so loud. But I'm only saying that because there's cases where you have killers who, let's say husbands, I've seen a case when the husband has killed the daughter because she resembled the mom, but that was over hatred. But it's like, just to be obsessed with your daughter, stealing her underwear is already sick. Stealing her used feminine products is just sick. And the fact that she caught this, she told him. She confronted him, and he said he won't do it again. Now, I think that part right there is the most important part, to be honest, in this, because it also tells you most likely where the rage started. Think about it. He was able to do this early on without her noticing anything. Then when she confronted him, it's like, he's like, okay, she's on to me. He had to say that he would never do it again. He didn't mean none of that. And then she got a boyfriend now. And then he's tracking her to see where she's at. So it's creepy. It definitely shows that they already know he did it. They're just trying to find him. But it's like everything he's saying, it just pinpoints to like when it started, because I think that's where it started when she caught him. Obviously, this started before early on when he started being obsessed with her. But I'm talking about, I feel like the rage part of wanting to murder her started when she caught him because he thought she was going to tell on him. It's so sickening. It's sick because this is your daughter, sir. You disgusting, just nothing of a man. It's crazy when it get that bad. She's a beautiful woman. She's a gorgeous woman. Rest in peace. He strangled her. And it's like, I seen it was another picture with another girl. I don't know if that was another sister or maybe this is the only daughter. I don't know. That's just what the picture looked like. But you can also see the type of dude. He looked like somebody, like I said early on, he looked like a dude that would be like obsessed with his looks. It's also the rings. I was looking at the rings throughout his pictures, y'all. He had a ring on every finger. That is a red flag. I don't know. That's just a red flag of a dude that's really obsessed with himself, because it's just, I just know the mannerism of the pictures, the creepy smile, the rings, they'd be the signs, y'all, it'd be there. I really wish she didn't go home. It's like, girl, buy clothes somewhere else. Oh my God, I wish she would not have went home. And like they said, she might have went home to like getting more clothes and then leave. But he was tracking her. That's how he knew she was gonna be there. Just really scary knowing that you're going upstairs and then you hear the door close. Oh my God! When I say frightening, and I'm 100% sure she was smaller than him, but dang, I wish she had a weapon. She was a sheriff. I wish she had a weapon on her or something for protection. She really should have turned him in. She should have went straight to the cops, because even though she knew he was doing this, she went to the hotel for a couple of days. She should have reported this and then never went back to the home. I would have left everything at that home and left. Like, I got somewhere else to stay. I would have left. It's creepy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be safe out there, ladies. You never know. This does not happen to everybody with their dad. There's a lot of cases, surprisingly, like this, like with dads being obsessed with their daughters. It's just, jeez, that stuff. And I'm gonna say this last thing. When I was talking about the hub at first, and it's only because I've seen cases like this, and they talk about this stuff on the internet, porn sites. They put that stuff online, and people, like, dudes watch that stuff and really try to imitate it. It's really sick, actually, when you think about it. The stuff that be online that people try to imitate, like kids try to imitate that stuff like that. So, we need to take this stuff offline. That's basically what this is. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay alert, stay aware. Be safe, okay? Be safe. Like, if you notice any signs like this, leave immediately and turn him in. It's just, and it's scary because he has a twin and nobody knows where this man is. That's crazy. They should really plaster his face on everything. Like America's Most Wanted, and I'm pretty sure they'll find him. Probably in Colombia or something. You could blend in somewhere there. He look like he's there Hispanic. So, maybe. But they look Hispanic, so I'm like, he can probably blend in somewhere, like, without, in those countries, like, without being seen. I don't know. So, on that note, I'll let you guys go. Bye.